Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday today. As I talked about in other Mindfulness Mondays, that I'm going to start having interviews every other episode. So I'm glad to have today Michelle Wilson as our guest. And she is going to be talking to us today about how to find calm and find the money that you deserve. And she's going to talk with us today about a 30-second technique, which I am really excited to learn about, that we can all use as we are going throughout our day. So welcome, Michelle. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for inviting me, Amanda.
Oh, you're welcome. So just so everyone knows, so Michelle Wilson, I met her back in October of 2019 and have been working with her ever since. And she is a breakthrough mentor, a licensed psychologist, and also has a lot of other experience. And so as I started working with her, I could definitely say that her as a breakthrough mentor has been something that has been really significant in my life and has moved me actually into jumping into my own business and being able to just be able to move forward with that. So I thank her very much for that. So today, as we start to talk about this topic, I think it really has to do with, especially now, thinking about our mindsets and maybe what is going on for us when we think about what's happening. So if there's some fear or anxiety or just different things going through our world right now, just being able to start to have a technique or an opportunity to be able to think about this more. That's why I wanted to bring Michelle on today. So welcome again, Michelle. So just want to kind of jump into the topic, talk a little bit about what you do, and be able to share this awesome tool with people.
Yes, thank you. Well, and as you said, my background was in doing counseling psychology, and I had a specialty with anxiety and eating disorders. Now I just work with entrepreneurial women, primarily leaders who want to make a bigger difference in the world, but they know they're holding themselves back in some ways because of this inner stuff we all have. So I think right now, with everything going on in the world, we can all relate to the idea that calm would be a good thing. There's a lot of anxiety, uncertainty going on all around us. And so for us to have a way to access calm really quickly and easily is so powerful. I actually had written this technique up in a little PDF I called 30 Seconds to Calm, the Brain Secret to Success in Your Business and Life, or something like that. And I had to preface it with, well, we don't usually think about calm as being related to success, but it's so important. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So, yeah. And so I'll just dive right in. So, right, most of you probably learned in like middle school health class about the fight, flight, or freeze response. And you've probably heard about it since then, but it's important to remind ourselves how it applies right now. So most of you have heard stories that our bodies, we can be almost superhuman in times of a stressful emergency situation. There are crazy stories about, a car runs over a kid's foot and the mother all of a sudden gets a surge of adrenaline and can lift the car off the kid's foot, or you could run faster than you ever thought possible. So in a way, it can serve us when it's an emergency. However, for most of us in this modern culture, we don't have actual emergencies like that, but our brain doesn't know the difference between a real or imagined threat. So when we're waking up every morning and we might be saying something like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to find any new clients? Or, are my loved ones going to get sick? We can wake up with this worry and anxiety that sets off that fight, flight, or freeze response. But we're not needing to physically burn off that extra adrenaline and cortisol. So that's when it can start breaking down our immune system if we're always on that fight or flight state of mind and state of, our body as well. And the thing that's so interesting, when that happens, psychologists like to call it an amygdala hijacking. So the part of your body, the part of your brain, the amygdala, the part that is just about survival, it's kind of like our more primitive brain, or our lizard brain, some people call it, it takes over and it just wants to do what it can to survive. And when it hijacks, we're not then able to access the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that's better for decision making, complex ideas, thinking out of the box, being more creative, which I think we'd agree we all really need right now. So when the fight or flight kicks on, and then we're like, I just want to freeze. I think I need to reach out to more people, find more clients, or figure out how to pivot my business. But I'm so paralyzed with anxiety. I think I'm just going to watch Netflix, or I'm just going to go to the fridge and eat some more snacks, or I'm just so in overwhelm, or I'm going to be in that more fight mode, snapping at your loved ones. So obviously not as helpful. So, I used to get these two confused, but the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, if it's helpful for you to know, when we kick off, it's the sympathetic. I remember it because it starts with an S, just like stress. So that's the thing that can set off the stress response. But if we can turn on the parasympathetic response instead, P for peace, that's how I would remember it, then we can get back into that place of clear thinking. And that's where, attracting money or reaching our goals is so helpful, because again, when we're in anxiety, we're not noticing opportunities, we're often procrastinating, spinning our wheels, not taking the action that we need to. So that's why this 30-second technique will help you literally access the part of your brain that will be better at creative problem solving. And we're not going to get too much into it in this call, but I have some other resources. But the more our vibration is higher, the more we're in a place of peace, gratitude, we actually then will attract more opportunities, clients, like-minded people who might be a good referral source. So that's when ultimately we can actually attract more money, when we know how to get out of that fight, flight, or freeze spiral and into a place of calm. Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yes, yes. Well, and I so appreciate that, just being able to come back to that parasympathetic and that sympathetic, because I think that's something that resonates with a lot of people, where it is you can identify where you're at. And from there, then being able to determine, okay, this is a tool that I should put in place at the moment because this is where I am. So just being able to have that awareness and identifying, I like how you explain that.
Yeah.
So looking forward to seeing what this tool is about.
Good.
This technique.
Yes, and it's so easy. You could teach it to your kids. You could teach it anything. To anyone can use it. So I call it the 5 senses scavenger hunt, and it is a mindfulness technique. So I know that Amanda is an expert in mindfulness as well, as she shares on these Mindfulness Mondays. And I remember years and years ago hearing the phrase, "Oh, we should be mindful. We should be in the present moment." And I think other people could relate to me when sometimes we'd say, well, what does that really mean? I think I'm in the present moment, but I don't really get it. But one really effective tool is to be aware of our 5 senses. So we're going to practice it right now. So all you're going to do is sort of look around and feel and experience the different senses. So we'll start by just notice 5 things that you see around you. Just notice, be aware. And then notice what you feel against your skin or your body. Notice if you smell anything, it might be neutral. Notice if you taste anything. And then notice what you hear. And that's it. That's the 5 senses scavenger hunt. It could take 30 seconds or less or more. And then the next step I like to do is also bring my awareness to my breathing. So just notice what it feels like to inhale and then to exhale. It's something very easy we can be mindful about because it's always there. So one of the reasons that this works is, it brings us back into the present moment, but I first learned this idea when I worked at a psychiatric hospital, a couple decades ago, but we would be working with clients who would be having flashbacks from trauma. So they would be experiencing, almost feeling like they were in another time and place. So we would say, can you hear my voice? Can you feel your feet on the floor? And bringing them back to the present was very calming. And so fortunately, most people watching this are not probably experiencing flashbacks, but if it even works for something as severe as that, it can definitely help us get out of our spinning mind, because sometimes we can be worried about the future. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen with the economy? What's going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. When we race into the future, we can get anxious. Sometimes we're more in the past, like, oh, I wish I had started my online business 6 months ago or whatever. We could get into beating ourselves up or regret. So both places are not really where we want to hang out if it's causing distress. But just for the present moment, we could say, you know, right now I'm okay. Right now I can breathe, I'm in the present. It turns off that fight, flight, or freeze response, and then we can think clearly. And then you can go on to, and you know, what am I feeling grateful about today? Or how can I brainstorm some ideas to grow my business or shift my business, different things like that. So pretty easy, right?
Mhm. Yes, definitely. Well, and what I think about that is that there's just this opportunity where you, like you said, there's all these different tools that we can have all around us, right? And this is one of them. And if it resonates with you, use it. And I love it, because the other thing is that it's super simple, and we all have access to five or maybe fewer of our senses, but there is that opportunity to really tap into that. So I appreciate that. Now, I just want to see kind of that connection to sort of attracting that money that we deserve, kind of how that ties into that a little bit for our folks watching. And then the other part of that is wanted to know what you have coming up around that.
Oh, thank you. Good question. Yes. So, um, yeah, there obviously are more things we can do to be attracting the money we can deserve. So starting out by just, you know, number one, if you're in a place of anxiety and overwhelm, get yourself into a calm place. That's a great place to start. I actually did a video series, 11 videos on attracting abundance in all ways. And a lot of them were related to some guided imageries to access calm or gratitude. So we're going to tell you how you can sign up to be on my email list. And if you sign up, I'll give you access to all of those and tell you where you can find them. And I also have this special report that's you sign up and you can access it from my website at any time. Those who I know are signing up right away, taking action in the next 24 hours, I have a special bonus. But more money, less stress, 7 simple steps for more calm and cash starting today. And as you see, I come at it from kind of a different angle, being a therapist for so many years and also studying the law of attraction, other universal laws. I teach people how to harness their skills to manifest what they desire. So there's a lot more to it, but so much of it starts with just accessing calm, being able to find that part of your brain that's better at problem solving. But then I would love to do more. I'm going to do in 2 weeks from today, actually, we're going to be starting a 5-day money breakthrough challenge that's specifically designed for heart-centered, purpose-based, purpose-driven leaders. So if that's a fit for you, I'll have a way that you can get access to that. Just a lot of free resources to help you, because I know most people in Amanda's tribe or in my tribe, we really want to make a difference. I believe you probably have great gifts and services that you're meant to offer to more people. And this time as the world's changing, I don't want you to be holding back, but how to step more powerfully into your brilliance, into your service, and know that it's okay to also be receiving money for your amazing gifts and your services. So claiming your value, claiming that you're worthy of abundance in all ways. And we're going to get to shifting some of the mindset or shifting some of the limiting beliefs that may have blocked money from coming in the past. So I'd love to just give you oodles of resources. And the first thing to do, we'll put the link in the bottom, but the way that you would get this right away in your inbox is to go to a special page. So it's michellelwilson.com. My name has 2 L's, so it's Michelle with 2 L's, then my middle initial L, and then wilson.com. There's a lot of Michelle Wilsons. It's a common name. So michellelwilson.com/gift. GIFT. I just had it created for you guys so you can get right in and get started with some new tools, because I wanted to share as much as I can beyond what I can just do in this short interview. So michellelwilson.com/gift, and then we can stay connected. I'll give you lots of other extra stuff.
That's great. That's great. Well, thanks for that resource for everyone. So we will leave that in the comments below so you can definitely get connected and get those resources. Just what Michelle said in connecting with her and getting to this state of being for me is why I stepped into working with her. So I definitely recommend checking her out, having a conversation, and thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate it.
You're very
So
welcome.
as always, thank you for coming and being a part of Mindfulness Monday. Every Mindfulness Monday, we talk about something different, maybe mindset, movement, or energy. And I'll continue to have more interviews as we keep moving forward. If you don't know me, my name is Amanda Gregg, and I am passionate about helping people get comfortable in their bodies so that they can release stress and be the best version of themselves. So if you have any questions for me at all, please let me know in the comments below, and I would love to engage with you. Thanks so much for being here, and have a great day.
Bye.